Which everyone, Kajima Tashiv, and welcome back to episode number 160 of the Inline G, Flute podcast with me, your host, ya boy, ya motherfucking Inline G. If you're new around here, by the way, at the start of every episode of this podcast, that's Irish I'm speaking. Because I get a lot of messages saying, are you speaking French at the start of the podcast? Are you having a stroke at the start of the podcast? No, I'm speaking my mother tongue, Irish. Not Gaelic, by the way, or Gaelic. Gaelic is what two lads do when they like each other very much. But Gaelic is also not a language. Gaelic is a group of languages. Irish is one of them, so we call it the Irish language. We don't call it Gaelic. And it's very appropriate that I'm using a bit of Irish, because when this podcast comes out, I'm going to be back in Ireland. I'm going to be balls deep in Guinness by the time this comes out. Also, there's a lot of new listeners to this episode, or this podcast, since the last two episodes. Obviously, very intense themes on Bradley Garner and Pierre Vartot as abusive teachers. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone for listening to those episodes, interacting with it, engaging with it, liking with it, sharing things on social media. It helps so much, especially for a small podcast like this. It did me the world of good. There will be more episodes like that, but that is not the norm in this podcast. And to be honest, it takes a lot out of me to make those episodes. I don't enjoy making them. I know they're very useful. They have a great purpose. They're important to make. I hate making them. I don't mind being threatened after they come out. That doesn't bother me in the slightest. But researching this, putting yourself in that mental state for a couple of weeks in a row is not good for me. So you're not getting that kind of episode today, nor next week. After that, we will be revisiting these themes. We're going to look at them more seriously and a couple of different angles. But for now, we're going to do something that's a bit more traditional Inline G podcast, because this is a fun podcast usually. We do all kinds of stuff here, but mainly we do a bit of shite talking, or whatever takes my fancy that day. And today I'm going to celebrate being Irish and celebrate Irish music, and why you, dear listeners, should be celebrating Irish music as well, because it's fucking class. It has its benefits, especially if you're a classical musician. I'm going to sell you all today on why Irish music is the best folk music in the world, and it's perfect for you. Whoever you are, it's perfect for you. You're going to love it. Especially flute players, by the way. If you are a flute player, which actually is not a huge amount of this podcast anymore, but if you are a flute player, really stick about it. I'm going to give you some great tips on how to play it properly. Now, straight away, we're going to speed run some things here, and I'm going to make American listeners very uncomfortable, because I'm going to talk politics. And I know you hate that, but listen, anyone who says music and politics are separate is talking fucking dog shit. They're talking out their arse by. Because I'm telling you, the existence of music, the existence of art is inherently political. Imagine being so fucking privileged that you can make a statement like, oh, I don't want politics with my art. Fuck off. As someone who makes a living off creating art, trust me, it's political. It has to be. And I'm a man from Belfast. Everything's political in Belfast. So, as Ireland's having this big moment right now, we've got so many actors and so many musicians, and we've got, generally speaking, we're on the right side of politics at the minute. It's having this real moment internationally. It's the right time to start discovering real Irish music. So don't get all that plastic patty shite. I'm going to show you the best way to do it. But it is long overdue. So we're going to speed run a bit of Irish history to tell you why our culture is so unique and so ingrained in us and so strong. Because it's been shaped by rebellion. Been shaped and formed and honed by rebellion. So the island of Ireland has been under some kind of British rule or occupation for well over 800 years now. At the minute, there are two states on the island of Ireland. There is the Republic of Ireland, which is an independent state, and there is Northern Ireland, which is still controlled by the British government. Now, I'm from Northern Ireland. A lot of people who identify with being pro-Irish as opposed to pro-British will not call it Northern Ireland. They will call it the North of Ireland. Northern Ireland is an invented term from the British state. So I don't really like the term Northern Ireland anymore. I prefer North of Ireland, but I'm not going to get my fucking panties in a twist about it, all right? I've got more important things to worry about. Now, back 800 years ago, or just over it, Ireland was Britain's first real go at colonialism. Everything they got really good at, even the fucking famines and all they've done over there, in India and all that, they practiced it in Ireland first. We were the first real test for colonialism and how to invade. Pre-Britain, Ireland was a pagan society. Celtic society was pagan, Gaelic society. Divided up into kingdoms. Each kingdom had a king, obviously. And the person beside the king who was the most important in each kingdom in Ireland was the poet. The poet was essentially the person who, when the king made declarations or wanted things to be expressed to his people, the poet would go out and do it. Obviously, the poet would choose how to use his words, or their words, how to express, how to interact with people. They would be viewed as more important than the king themselves because they sway public opinion. Now, people who were also valued that highly were musicians. Why not? People looked at them going, these guys turn up, they play their fucking harps, and they make you cry, or they make you dance. They have a power. If you want to hear more about this, okay, and this whole like mythological history of Ireland and its deep connection with the arts and poetry and music, great episode of this podcast. I think it's called We Irish Stories with Jasper. The guest is called Jasper. If you put in Inline G podcast Jasper, you'll find it. He's a great lad. We had an amazing episode back in December. So anyway, we had a lovely time. We were all doing great. And then the fucking Brits rock up one day. They went, here, you've got lovely green land over there. And you can grow things in it. And things have been brought over. There's potatoes over there. We're going to take that off you. Fuck you. We are Christian. We are the Brits. You need us. We're going to educate you swine. So they came over on their boats. And the first place they rock up to is Dublin. Because Dublin is just like literally fucking like a hop, skip, and a jump from Wales, okay? From mainland Britain, Dublin's the first city you're going to hit when you come over. So that was one that got hit hardest by British colonialism and anything along the East Coast. So what they did is they came in, all right, we're taking over. Fuck your kingdoms. Fuck all your boys. Fuck your poets. We're getting rid of it. They also saw that being able to speak a different language, Irish was the only language spoken on the island. There was no English. Language, very strong identity with music and sport as well. The Brits went, this all has to go. We have to get rid of all this, lads, because you could get a bit of rebellion going here if we let you have too much of an identity. So they got rid of the language first. Famously, what's the saying? A nation without a language is a nation without a soul. Irish just about survived. We're lucky we still have it. And they got rid of the sport as well. So we have GAA, which is our national Gaelic sports. We have two main ones, Gaelic football and hurling. By the way, Croke Park Stadium in Dublin, 83,000 people, fourth biggest stadium in Europe, bigger than anything in Germany, bigger than anything in France, Italy as well. It is for Gaelic games. Our two national sports in Ireland still now are Gaelic football and hurling. The All-Ireland final was last week. Sold out stadium, obviously. All the players unpaid. There's no money going to the players in either of the sport. They're playing, it's our national sport, and there's 84,000 people in the fucking stadium, and they're not paid a penny. All the money made in the sport gets reinvested down the grassroots level. It's a socialist idea. Ireland has always been a socialist state, which is really cool. It just shows you how strong this mentality was. And the Brits knew, right, if we don't destroy this, it's going to fucking bite us in the hole. So I better get rid of it all. Didn't work. And the music as well. They tried to ban the music. That was the first thing they went after, to be honest. So the first solution was, let's get rid of all the instruments. Because if I can't get instruments, I can't play. Then what happened? We invented lilting. If you haven't heard lilting, I'm going to play you a bit of lilting now. They went, well, haven't got any instruments? Fuck you. We'll be grand. We know how to do that. We'll just play our wee reels and our jigs like this. Fucking great, isn't it? That's lilting. So that's when I went, right, you have no more instruments. I went, fuck it. Well, diddly doodly diddly diddly. And we'll get through it. Our culture's going fucking nowhere, boy. We will skiddly diddly all day. Fuck you, you Brits. Now, British rule was strongest in Dublin, so a lot of expressions of Irish identity and culture got fucked out of Dublin. Belfast as well, because on the East Coast, Belfast got it particularly bad because it was like where they planted, the plantations, where they put all the British families, Scots and English families, to say, right, we're going to put you there, get the Irish out. So they send all the Irish out to the west coast of Ireland, because out in the west coast, the ground is not very good, the weather's fucking wide, you're beside the Atlantic Ocean, it's hard to grow shit out there, there's not real much civilization around. Fuck it, we'll throw them all out there, we don't have to worry about them. Leave them out there. So in the cities and on the East Coast, they're actively destroying Irish culture. The West Coast went, fuck them, we'll stick them out there, they're not going to be any harm, they'll be dead soon. And that's where the rebellion started. Places like Galway, Cork, Limerick, Kerry, these are staunchly Irish places. So they kept the language alive and kicking. That's why even to this day, there are Gael talks and they're out there. These are areas where Irish is the first language and the predominantly spoken language. A lot of people do still speak Irish. It's on the rise massively. And a lot of people in Ireland are still first language Irish speakers. All the signs in Ireland are bilingual. Also in Belfast now, but changed that. So it's making a bit of a comeback. But the Gael talks are mainly out in the West Coast. Because again, they got away with speaking it out there. The sports, especially hurling, the other national sport, is all very popular out in the West because hurling's played with a big stick. So if you were bringing that big stick around Dublin saying you went to play hurling, it was also viewed as a weapon. So they went, no, fuck that, you're not getting that. We're taking that off you. So they all went out to the West Coast. They got really good at hurling out there. And the music. Sorry, I've been dying to sneeze for about an hour. Oh, that felt good. So the music out in the west coast of Ireland, you hear the fucking Kerry and Mayo boys playing the flutes and playing the fiddles out there. Holy fuck. The tradition is live and kicking. These are the Irish people that are more Irish than Irish. On a side note, Belfast got implanted with loads of people. It became pro-British, very much so. Northern Ireland as a state was born in 1921 as the Republic of Ireland got its independence. Northern Ireland is an invented state. There's no reason. The only reason it's that specific shape and where the border is because it's where all the fucking pro-British people live. So keep them all in that. But that means if you're from Belfast like I am and you want to be pro-Irish, you have to fucking fight for your right to be Irish. So the Irish people in Belfast are very, very fucking Irish. That's why we have class music. So to say all this to tell you that some people will express the idea that Irish culture is a fuck you to the Brits. And that is not true. It is rebellion, but it is not built on hate. Far-right wankers in England and the USA, fucking Trump and Farage and all those cunts, they build culture on hate. They try to convince you that hating other people is a culture. It's not. And it'll never last. Irish culture is not built on that. Irish culture is built on rebellion, but it's expressing our own views, our beliefs, and we know that it's very, very strong. Everyone wants to be Irish at the minute, and you're all welcome to as well. Ireland's incredibly pro-Palestine and anti-Israel, as it fucking should be. We were the first colony, so we get that. And also, we're very pro-immigration. Because again, we are immigrants. You go to fucking America and Canada, there's loads of Irish families there that left during the famine. We were the immigrants. So we have a duty now, as a first world developed country, that's benefited a lot from America and the EU, to say, you know what? You come on into us now. We'll look after you. Obviously. Fucking sense. Common sense. So when anyone says Irish music is not political, you can quote my fucking 8-minute rant there and tell them to go fuck themselves because bollocks. So if you're a classical musician, what can Irish music do for you? Do you know what? I'm going to quickly do my Patreon read and then I come back to it. So regular listeners, go get yourself a pint or a cup of tea. If you're new around here, don't go anywhere. Just give me a wee minute. The Inline G podcast is free. It will always be free. That is a motherfucking guarantee. But if you wish to donate to the podcast, you can now do so through the Patreon. On the screen now is the address. For the audio listeners, it is patreon.com/the Inline G Flute podcast. Links in the bio. Guys, here's the crack. You get an episode of this podcast every single Friday. I adore making it. It is one of the greatest artistic projects of my life. I love making it. It's a fuckload of work. We don't have sponsors here. Because sponsors always say, you can't swear. You can't tell Israel to go fuck itself. You can't talk about mental health. I definitely couldn't have made the 2 episodes I made before this on abusive teachers. No sponsor would touch that. So I went, you know what? Fuck yous all. The listeners will pay for it. So you guys are funded. So basically, here's the idea. If you have enough money, it's €5 a month or $5 a month to sign up to the Patreon. If you don't want to make it a regular thing, sign up to the Patreon, unsubscribe immediately. Just jump out straight away. That means you're paying me for a one-off fee of $5. You're getting 4 episodes a month of this, by the way. This is better than Netflix, all right? It's fucking free, okay? It's free. If you sign up to the Patreon, you don't get more episodes, okay? I believe the podcast should be for everybody. But if you do, please know that you are the people that keep this podcast alive. Without you, I would not be able to do this, okay? It gets me paid for my work as an artist, which is so fucking hard to do, but it makes it all worthwhile. And it allows me to dedicate the time to this podcast that I just wouldn't have otherwise, and I'd have to go making some dollar. So thank you so much to the patrons that are out there. You have no idea how important it is to me to give me that €5 a month. If you can afford it, please consider signing up. It really makes a huge difference. Again, just a one-off. If you can't afford it, don't worry. Someone who can't afford it is paying for you to listen for free. So, what can Irish music do for you, dear classical musician? I only started playing Irish folk music when I was about 19. I'd moved to Cardiff to study at Royal Welsh College of Music, and I was living with a fella, Zach, my best friend, who's been on this podcast. And there was a wee girl, Saoirse, that played violin down the road. And I came, we should start an Irish band because we can play in the wee pubs and the clubs and make a few quid at the weekend. I was a classical musician. I learned how to play Irish music from sheet music and then memorizing it. I had no idea about style or whatever. I was just doing it for the crack. The main lesson playing Irish music taught me was that it was crack. It was fun. Because I had spent my life being a classical musician where even if you do play a bit of pop in the orchestra, a bit of rock in the orchestra, you still have to play the right notes in the right order at the right time. And that is number one. Classical music is the only music form where the number one priority is technique. Every other music form, every single one of them values expression above everything else. You're allowed to fuck up a little bit to work out how to express yourself. Expression is number one. But because we're playing other people's music and it's so technically demanding, technique comes first for us. You have to be able to play the notes before you can even think of expressing. If someone can't play the Beethoven violin sonata or violin concerto, you're not going to go watch them. Even doesn't matter how expressive they are, you would just fucking leave it. That's not the case in other music. If someone covers something shite, you go, well, they're giving it a good go and I can see their vibe. You can still appreciate it. Doesn't work in classical music. I learned by playing with Irish bands, you can just have fucking crack on stage. I'd never done that. I'd never performed with a flute and went on feeling zero anxiety and actually just having fun. And I thought if I could get that feeling that I get in the pubs having crack, forgetting notes, playing wrong notes all the time, who gives a fuck? If I could get that into my classical music, I'd be flying. That was what it taught me. Now I do play a lot more regularly with Irish music. I run the sessions here. Again, I've never studied it. I just pick it up every week or every 2 weeks. We play along. But I can improvise now. And if you said to me, do you want to play in a jazz band or a rock band or a pop band? Do you want to play this? Just give me my flute. I'll give it a fucking go. I'm comfortable with that now. I haven't learned any new skills. All the skills about like harmony and education and all this, it's all up there. If you study classical music to any level, it's all up there. We just can't get over it. We can't get over that line. And we try to intellectualize and academicize? Academicize? Sounds like a pasta. Academicize. We try to intellectualize everything we do by saying, oh, well, if I studied enough, maybe I can do it. Man, you can't study this. It's just a feeling. It's music. You just have to go fucking do it and have a bit of crack. And trust me, you will get there. You'll get comfortable just playing. I'll play anything now. What key are we in? Grand. I'll work it out. And if it sounds like shit, I'll not do it again. I'll find something else. But that's how you get better. Irish music has taught me that because no one gives a fuck. You're in an Irish pub drinking Guinness and it's all grand. So here's how you're going to learn to do that, dear musician, okay? If you're a flute player, number one thing, you have to understand how tunes work in Ireland. I'm going to fucking speed run this again for you, okay? Irish music is divided into different types of tunes that have been written hundreds of years ago and they've been passed on orally. The sheet music that you'll find on the internet is not written by someone. It's someone picking it up from their ear and writing it down. That's why if you look for the sheet music, there'll be loads of different versions with slight differences because by the time it got down to fucking Kerry or Cork, it probably sounded a bit different. It's like Chinese whispers. By the time it gets down there, there's a couple of notes added, a couple of ones taken away, but there's a general vibe to it. There's no right or wrong answer. Now, the different styles of tunes, we have things like jigs, reels, polkas, waltzes, hornpipes, airs, blah, 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 blah. Two that you need to know for now are reels and jigs. Reels are in 4/4, okay? Or a fast 2. So, jigs are in 6/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it, okay? That's all you need to know for now. And you're going to pick a few up and you're going to play with recordings. So what I would recommend is go into fucking Google now. Get your Google machine out, right? Search the Kesh Jig. The Kesh is spelled Kesh, right? The Kesh Jig sheet music. You'll find it in fucking Google Images. That's like the wonder wall of Irish music, okay? Find it. Get the music up. It's in G major. First note to G, right? Then go into YouTube. Type in the Kesh Jig. Find 3 different versions. Just whatever fucking comes up. It doesn't matter if there's other tunes with it, okay? Just find 3 things, say the Kesh, and play along with them. Now, the reason there's other names to it, we're going to explain this quickly. When you play a tune, okay, Irish music, it's divided into 2 sections, usually. So the Kesh is 2 sections. First 2 lines, second 2 lines. We call the first 2 lines the A section, then the B, sometimes it'll be a C. And you repeat them. So you play AA and then BB. When you've done that, you play the whole thing again. You play AA, BB, right? Once you play it like 3 times, it gets a bit samey. Okay, so instead of just playing one tune, we put different tunes together and we call it a set. And there's a bit of an art of how to work out a set because if you can have the Kesh and your next tune, just as you're starting to get a bit bored and the listener's getting a bit bored with hearing the Kesh again, you jump into a new tune. And if you get that, you get the right tune that just slaps in the right way in comparison to the first one, it just freshens it up. So we play with keys as well. You maybe go G major to D major or G major to E minor, something to freshen up and give it a vibe. That's a set. And you put 2 sets, you 2 tunes in a set, or 3 tunes, or 4 tunes. And again, that's the art, is how to choose which tunes to put together. So you're going to get your Kesh sheet music, you're going to sit down, you're going to open 3 tabs with your Kesh tune. It's going to take you like 5 minutes, by the way, tops. You're going to play along to each one, reading the sheet music. It's easy. No ornamentation. Doesn't matter what's written in your sheet music. Don't try to put ornamentation in. This is the thing that classical musicians fuck up so much with Irish music. They try to put ornamentation in like it's classical music because the notation says it in the classical way. We play it in the classical way. It sounds like dog shit, okay? Play it straight. Even if it's boring, just trust me in this. Do it 3 times. Play it straight. Get used for the feel of it, okay? Now, we're going to talk... Oh, the last thing to do is then stick in Irish jig, G major, guitar accompaniment or something into Google, right? There's a fella that does loads of these. See if I can find him, actually. Oh, I put this up earlier. There's a fella that puts in all these backing tracks. Okay, so you get to play along with him. And he's funky as hell chords. He's really good. So if I play the Kesh, I haven't played the flute in 2 weeks. Drinking too much sangria, but if I play this. It's class. You can have a great time playing that. Great. Okay, just play along to it. You will have a fucking blast. That goes on for like a minute and 30. Great. Now you're flying. Now, I did put a bit of an ornamentation in there. We're going to talk quickly about ornamentation. Is the one thing that classical musicians fuck up so much when they play Irish rap. Also, memorize your tunes. They're not long. Don't play Irish music with sheet music, for the love of God, okay? Practice it with sheet music and memorize it. It looks awful and it just doesn't let you play it properly. You just can't. You have to do it from memory, right? Ornamentation, okay? I'll give you a quick example of this. You'll see a turn written in some of them. So the first G, okay, the cash starts like this. Okay, those two long notes will normally have a turn on them. If that was classical music, it would be. That's for Mozart. That sounds wank, okay? That sounds like classical music. What you want is this. You want like a bounce, a flick to it. That's what these trill keys are for, okay? In this style of music. You hear that? It's so much better. No. Do you hear that? That bounce, that snap. That's the Irish style. Now, how did I learn to do that on the classical flute? Well, I'm glad you asked, dear listener. There is one book, and one book only, that you need to learn to do all the ornamentation. Ornamentation is what takes it to that level. It takes the basic to the flavour, right? There's one book you need. It's by Philippe Barnes, who was on this podcast. Philippe spelled in the French way. Barnes, he's an English fellow, Irish family, blah, blah, blah. He was on this podcast way back in the early days. Philippe is one of my favourite flute players on planet Earth. Amazing. All his albums are recorded. I'm going to play you a bit of Philippe's album. When he plays, by the way, everything he plays, I think the new album he does play a bit of trad flute, but most of it is played on a classical flute. Like these flutes here. This is what he plays most of his trad stuff on. And this is with flute and piano. That's fucking stupid. That's class. That's absolutely class. Now, he wrote a book. It's called Irish Music on the Silver Flute. You can buy it on his website and get it as a PDF. It's like fucking 10 quid or something, right? It is not long, and it is everything you need to know about how to get your bow and flute sounding like an Irish flute properly. No more of these classical shite ornamentation that makes it sound like Mozart. You don't want that, right? We're kicking this up the hole. He'll show you how to do it. He's worked it all out. And that's a fucking altus he's playing that on. That's a normal flute. So go get that book. If you give yourself 1 hour with that book, it's got everything you need in it. A 1 hour practice session with your flute and that book, that's it. Put it in your fucking iPad. Download it for a PDF. And away you go. Trust me, that's it. That's all you need to know about ornamentation. Put that in with your tunes. Play along with recordings. Stick in the backing tracks. And you are flying. That's a couple of weeks of entertainment, all right? That's you getting started. Now, the very last thing I want to talk about in this podcast, how long are we in? 23 minutes, very quickly. I'm going to give you a couple of recommendations of what to listen to get you in the mood. Number one, Spodou Komodo, okay? You can find the description. You can find his name in my description because it is the intro music to this podcast, all right? Spodou Komodo, new artist, does amazing music, and this podcast main tune is called Rhythm Equals Power. If you want some funky trad with some like disco-y vibes in the style, this guy's great. And that's some scene flute playing. Now, next, a band you have to check out is BIIRD. Okay? BIIRD, BIIRD. I'll play you a wee bit of BIIRD now, okay? I'll play them and I'll tell you why you should be listening, because it's not just Lennon. honestly fucking stupidly good. Stupidly good, all right? I don't think they have any EPs or recordings out, but that's a music video for the Rollover set. So BIIRD, Rollover, BIIRD again, BIIRD. That's because the two I's, it's all in capitals, look like an 11. It's because it's 11 girls. It's a super group of trad musicians from Ireland, all female. There's 11 girls. It's called BIIRD because they're all birds. The flute player in that group is called Mulu. She was on this podcast, and when she was on it, I think it's called like Pints of Harp in Belfast with Mulu, Mulu. BIIRD had just started. It was a brand new project at that time. They're taking over the world. The reason I say you have to go check them out is go watch them. Go to their Instagram page, go to their YouTube page, see what they look like, the costumes, the energy, the crack, and it's pure trad. It's pure fucking trad played obscenely well by these 11 cool as fuck girls that are just class at their instruments. There's no better way to describe it. They are just fucking amazing. They're amazing, okay? BIIRD, I promise you they will be your new favorite girl band if you go check them out. And quickly, I do want to recommend Brian Finnegan, okay? Amazing whistle player. I'll play a quick bit of Brian. He plays in Flute, Flook as a band. They're a bit too chill for me. Can is his other band, Kan, or he does a lot of solo stuff. Stick his name into YouTube. Brian Finnegan, Night Ride, okay? My favorite flute player in the world. Okay, that's a whistle. Plays the flute as well. He's amazing. Okay, go check out Brian Finnegan just to hear how obscenely good someone can play a whistle, right? And the last one, the Merry Wallopers. Okay, there's a huge thing in Irish trad music now where we're going back to pure trad music. For the 90s and the noughties, it was like, trad's not very cool anymore. We're going to mix it with fucking disco. We're going to mix it with that, or we're going to mix it with trance or whatever. It got a bit uncool for a while to just play trad. Now it's came the other way. Now we want our culture undiluted. We want pure hardcore trad. If you listen to the Merry Wallopers, you would swear they were fucking the Dubliners. You'd swear there's a band from the 70s. They're class, right? Go look at them. Merry Wallopers, okay? The Merry Wallopers, right? Go look at them. Because you see how fucking cool they are. They're hugely political. They're playing all the top festivals at the minute. They're super cool. And they're playing pure, fucking unadulterated, cool as fuck trad music. They write their own songs as well. Very left-leaning, left-wing as fuck. Very anti-landlord, pro-Palestine. They're class. They are fucking class. That's it. Go listen to all that and you'll be great now. Look, you're basically Irish now. Happy fucking days. You're very lucky. That's all you need to know, lads. Right, I'm going to get out of here. We're done with this podcast. 27 minutes, right? Enjoy being Irish for a wee while. Let me know how you go on with it. I'll see you next week. Fuck me. Free Palestine. Mwah.
Hello.